Hey, I just want to remind you guys, In Your Corner, a movie I directed on Floyd Mayweather and Sam Watson, is out now on Vimo.com. In Your Corner, click the link in the description box. Uh, and I would genuinely love and appreciate you guys' support. And don't don't hesitate to leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the film. And again, I appreciate you guys' support and enjoy the video. So, obviously, a lot of news has been made about Colin Kaepernick and him not getting a job. And I am 100% in support of however you feel it's necessary to voice your opinion and send your energy towards, whether you personally boycott the NFL or whether you choose to not stand, whatever you choose to do. Buy his jersey, but keep in mind, if you're buying his jersey from the NFL, you're supporting a system that didn't allow Colin Kaepernick to currently have a job. But let's put things in perspective, and here's a one reason or one belief why why blacks shouldn't boycott the NFL. The players need to make a move. We failed in LA when Donald Sterling said that horrendous stuff about Magic Johnson. What the Clippers end up losing that game by 30 or 40 points to Golden State, I believe it was. But we need to follow behind the players. The players can't get all the rewards, all the influence in our communities, and yet we make all the sacrifices. The NFL is 70% black, and the NBA is 80% black, 83% black now. And yet, we are preconditioned to be slaves. Now, it's easy for people who are not invested and not reaping the rewards of the NFL, monetary rewards, outside of gambling and fantasy football. I know all that stuff exists. But in terms of receiving a check that says signed by who signed by the NFL or signed by the NBA, we're making the sacrifice, but we'll never receive the rewards. The NFL players need to stand up. We need a Black Players Association. Remember I asked that question last year? I asked it to Stephen A. Smith, and he basically laughed at the notion. But until our players stand up, it will forever be a plantation, regardless of what happens to Colin Kaepernick this season. I am 100% of support of Colin Kaepernick. 9 times out of 10, I am outside of the arena when the national anthem is being played, and that's purposely. I don't sit down in the arena because it's not about me. And if I sit down in the arena, not that I'm afraid, you guys know I'm pretty much fearless, but I just don't want the attention to be on me. I just rather go out of the arena, pretend to do what I got to do, and then after the national anthem is played, I walk back in. You understand what I'm saying? And so we need to be more conscientious of that. And these NBA players have guaranteed contracts. NFL players, contracts aren't guaranteed, but they get signing bonuses just for showing up that year. So maybe the signing bonus is distributed over 5 years. And if they show up on that date, they get the contract. But it's basically NFL 1-year contracts. But it's still an egregious amount of money in terms of the amount of money we make as fans and or civilians in America. So we need to push the envelope and ask the Richard Shermans, ask the Adrian Petersons, who ask the Von Millers, ask Odell Beckham to make these sacrifices and be leaders. How about we follow their lead for once? That's why that Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell. You remember that picture? That's why that picture is so powerful, because the players took the initiative. Yes, we're gonna August 25th, Spike Lee, or 24th, whatever that date is. Spike Lee is gonna have a rally in front of the NFL office, which is great. I applaud everything that everyone is doing and all the sacrifices that people want to make. But until our players wake up, As long as we continue to have the Marcellus Wileys in the world, we will never ever move forward. Never ever move forward. You know, he's cooning in front of millions and millions of white Americans. And that's awful. Until the paradigm shift of these players having accountability, because keep in mind, I'm friends with so many professional athletes. Not friends, but you know, if I go through my phone, I can't scroll down without seeing a famous athlete in my phone, just because of my relationships and my friends just growing up in LA, in a big city, right? And until I'm not going to single anyone out, but until they make the sacrifice, why should we? We will reap no rewards if Colin Kaepernick gets a job or don't get a job. We will get satisfaction. But in the grand scheme of things, the big and whole enchilada, right? On a macro level, nothing will change in the NFL. Nothing. On a micro level, yeah, Colin Kaepernick gets a job. He draws a lot of attention to his name. He pushes the envelope. And you guys may say he could be the tipping point. Quite possibly can be the tipping point. I suggest you read that book by Malcolm Gladwell. Fantastic book. He could be the tipping point. And I see the paradigm shifting between the Jay-Z album, the Kendrick Lamars, and the J. Cole's being more popular than Lil Wayne, Young Thug, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I see where the paradigm is shifting. If we want to make gigantic steps instead of crawling and tiptoeing our way forward, the people who have the power of influence, which are our professional athletes in our community and on the social media platform, they have thousands upon millions upon followers. Until they make the sacrifice, we're just tiptoeing. We're just tiptoeing. All right. And as we're tiptoeing, their conglomerate is getting bigger and stronger. I will repeat, the NFL is 70% black and the NBA is 83% black in terms of its athletic performers. I don't know what the coaching staffs are. Until they wake up and realize that is the only, I don't know. This is just an hypothesis, an educated guess. That is the only sector besides incarcerated males where blacks males are the majority is in the NFL and in the NBA. The only sector that can push the envelope forward. I can't think of no other professional sector where black males are the majority. And let's take it a step further. If I combine these two facts, I believe I'm 100% right. I believe it is the only sector where blacks are the majority with the power of influence and are millionaires or have a lump sum of cash that can make a difference. Why aren't these NFL and NBA players buying up Detroit? Why did they let that guy, the Quicken Loans, Dan Gilbert, buy up Detroit? Why aren't we buying up Detroit? I inquired, and you guys may ask why didn't I do? I inquired about it, but I just don't want to be a non-present landlord. That's why I've stayed in LA, and I'm trying to venture out to other states now. But at the end of the day, these athletes have to step up and hold themselves accountable. We need to start holding our athletes accountable. And this is a video where I want you guys to tweet it, Instagram it, tag your favorite athlete, because this is important. They need to hear this, okay? They need to know that they are part of the problem as opposed to the solution. If they don't stand up, it's easy to stand up now. The millennials, whether you're black, white, tall, short, or brown, are eager to make change in this society. Eager. I think the millennials is the first generation. Well, I don't know. I've only been here 39 years. But in my 39 years of existence, me being a history major in college and going through the decades, this is the first generation where racism, in terms of their existence, not in terms of what they inherited, is not as prevalent as it was in my era and the era before that. or my generation, the generation prior to that. It's just imperative that we hold our professional athletes accountable. They're the millionaires. They have the millions of followers on Instagram. You know, how about if LeBron James stood up for Colin Kaepernick for real? Every song he plays on his social media probably sells about 10, 20. It gets more plays. You know, Bad and Bougie blew up when Childish Gambino said it at the Oscars or the Emmys. I don't forgive me for forgetting, but you guys get my point. That Drake Side Chick song went viral when he played it at the ESPYs a few years ago. So you see the power of influence and the platform that we can spread a message on. So that's my challenge, man. I need you guys to tweet this video, and I also need you guys to follow me on Instagram, because the reason why I want you guys to follow me on Instagram, not because I want 1 million of followers. I need 1 million followers. I need 10,000 followers because um, I believe barbershop conversations aligned with my Instagram will make a difference in our society. I genuinely believe that. And part two to that, which is so important, Instagram allows me to go live when I can't go live, or when I can't do videos on YouTube. I can still do it on my social media platform, which is Instagram. I don't have Facebook. I don't have any other social media platform, but between Instagram and YouTube, I believe that this platform is going to get bigger and bigger. I've had, honestly, 20, 30 people, I mean, in the last 6 months, say you need a bigger platform. And it's not, and I don't do, and if you know me from day one, I don't do this for selfish reasons. I'm financially okay. Um, I just really, 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 really believe that it's time that we start putting these videos where they need to be, you know. And if I can get you guys on my Instagram, which is Silent Heroes, SILENTHEROS, just replay it and keep on saying it and follow me, I think that it can go a much further way. You get what I'm saying? And I think our professional athletes need to hear this. Need to hear this. Really, 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 really need to hear this video. For real. I'm not calling anyone out, but I genuinely believe that they need to hear this video. All right? And tweet this to them. And let's make a difference, y'all. Like, for real, let's make a difference, because um, as I learned, as you guys know, I ran for politics, and I believe I'm going to run again. I'm going to run for mayor in Los Angeles in some time, probably a decade from now, when my kids get out of, well, my son is in a space where, he can make independent decisions. It will make life easier. But uh, what I learned in politics is it's about money. It's about money, guys. I could have got any favor I wanted in Whittier if I had the capital to do it. I couldn't compete with the guy who's 70 years old, who's retired, who owns a good portion of Whittier. I literally couldn't compete, you know, from a fiscal standpoint. From an attention-seeking standpoint, I garnished a lot of attention, but it takes money to get them votes. And in time, I'm going to get there. I'm unwavering on my mission statement, and I genuinely want you guys to tweet this, because this is a video that will begin to wake people up. Marcellus Wiley is putting people to sleep. He's disgusting. I'm just so insulted by him. It's just nasty, man. And I party with Marcellus Wiley minimum 4 times a year, 5 times a year, like in an intimate setting. And I know I'm going to see him during football season at somebody's event, because that's just the law of the land. And I'm going to tell him. I mean, he's straight up cooning. That's just bullshit what he's on ESPN. Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. You know, we need people like Dr. Boyce Watkins. I mean, Charlemagne does a hell of a job. I don't agree with everything he says, but his heart is in the right place, I believe. and all the YouTube channels. From top to bottom. Um, our voices need to be heard. So let's DL Hughley is in that as well. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. This could be an hour-long video, but that's why I believe blacks shouldn't boycott the NFL. This is just an idea, not an idea, but we need to. This is an open letter to every professional athlete that's in the NFL and the NBA. Let them be our leaders. Let them stand beside. Let them be the Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Or that's why I so wish Fred Hampton wouldn't have been killed. Fred Hampton had a contemporary voice and an old soul. Oh, he would have been. Oh my gosh, damn. COINTELPRO knew exactly what the fuck they were doing. When they assassinated Fred Hampton, they assassinated a bunch of souls that was willing to give their life and their time for the cause, as they said in the old days. Fred Hampton would have been one of them. I mean, you think Tupac was popular. Fred Hampton would, oh my God. Damn, man. Man, it hurts when I hear To Live and Die in LA. I typically get not overly emotional, but I get sentimental, like in the small place in my heart reveres that song, To Live and Die in LA. But if you haven't heard Fred Hampton speak, all my young guys, I suggest you go on YouTube and just listen to Fred Hampton. If you love Malcolm X, you will fall in love with the potential that you heard in Fred Hampton's voice. Anyhow, man, let's tweet this to our professional athletes, and let's see if we can make this happen. So anyways, man, barbershop conversation. Peace.